Hey, good morning, my friends. Hope everybody is well today and hope you had a great weekend. It is June 8th, 2020. My name's Paul Apollonia. I'm going to show you what I sold on eBay for last week. This will be selected items that I sold. This is not everything I sold on eBay. The dates are going to be from June 1st, 2020 to June 7th, 2020. Again, I'm Paul Apollonia. I've been selling on eBay what feels like forever since probably about 2006, 2008. I can't quite pin down what year that was. Started just selling stuff around the house, and then a friend of mine said, "Hey, sell this stuff for me." And I just loved doing consignment, online consignment, and that's what got me really into online consignment. I love it. It is not for everybody. The whole key with consignment is finding clients that value their items, also know that they will sell at market value. That is the biggest problem. I'll be honest with you. I've had my challenges with people wanting $1 million for their grandfather's coffee mug because he drank out of it every day, and it's worth market value. Once you find clients like that, it's a great relationship and it can be very, very cool and a rewarding experience. The coolest thing is you're not out there thrifting and garage selling. You are spending time going to people's houses and gathering things, but it's just, I like it. Some people don't, but I like it. I do a 50-50 split and it goes down from there. All depends on the value of the item. A 50-50 up to the first 100, $200, and it goes down from that. I also do parting out of appliances and lawnmowers and other stuff like that. There is money in parts, people, and I do a lot of training. I also do a lot of side income things. Do headlight restoration, taking cloudy and yellowed headlights and restoring them like new. I used to have an auto detailing business. I do that infrequently anymore. Getting old and not really enjoying that much. But I did one last week, and I just do odds and ends for people sometimes when I have some free time. So let's get this show on the road. This is my YouTube channel. Please like this video if you find it helpful. And please comment below with any other with comments. I can make it better for you. I try and give you tips and tricks as I go along. I'm all dressed in my eBay garb today and my mug, as you can tell. And really love doing YouTube videos. I need to do more of them. Been doing it for probably about 2 years now. I just love it. And please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more information like this, giving you eBay tips and tricks. Venturing out onto other platforms. I keep on saying that, but I haven't done it yet. Um, Amazon and stuff like that. I've actually this week's been sort of weird. I don't know. Maybe all this stuff is just catching up to me. As much as I tell people I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I just really didn't list too much on eBay last week. And like it or not, true or not, I didn't have all the sales I wanted to have. The minute I started listing things on Saturday or Friday, sales picked up. So say what you want, conspiracies, eBay's watching you, whatever. I think it's activity on your account pops you, makes you up, puts you higher in search. All right. Item number one. This was an item I found in the. I tell stories about going to the thrift store um, when I'm getting gas, and there's a shopping cart out there of free stuff. Usually there's fan blades and other miscellaneous stuff I normally don't do except the fan blades. Every once in a while they'll have glass globes in there. And I picked up two of these. And I only listed them one at a time. I should have listed them as a quantity of two. Oh, I know why I didn't, because the one was different. It was different. It didn't have the same exact design. I wanted to make sure. Listed this, got this for free. Most of my items are either free. People just give me things. You need to tell people what you're doing. I'm going to give you some examples of what I sold by just telling people what you're doing. Hey, I sell on eBay. Hey, I sell on Amazon. I do this, I do that. And keep on reminding people. People will give you things. Just here, just take this. Don't even worry about consignment. Just take it. It's great. Um, Back to the item. uh, so I got this for free. I didn't make a whole ton of money on it, but again, it was free, and I had free bubble wrap that somebody gave me. Either people give me bubble wrap, or I find it, or I look on Craigslist or Facebook and I get it for nothing. I rarely ever pay for bubble wrap or boxes. Pros and cons to both of them. Pro is you're getting it for free. The con is you're getting boxes all different sizes. Sometimes it pays to get your own boxes and buy them, and the bubble wrap is not cut into even amounts. So, but whatever. So I made. Let's see what I make on this. Probably it didn't go that far. Probably made $8, $9 on this. Most of my sales range from almost nothing to about 20, 30, $40. I am totally fine with that. A lot of people don't touch things that are below $25 profit. That is fine. We all run our businesses differently. What I'm doing works for me. If I can get an item enlisted in a minute or two and quick ship another minute, if I make a couple bucks, I'm happy with that. No worries. Let me go over the listing. My listing, what I do for listings. Gosh, I'm tongue tied today. My title is not grammar friendly, but Google and eBay friendly, keyword driven. I looked this up on Google and also eBay and did find one or two out there. These are antique globes, so they're hard to find. So they sell. I think I sold this within a week. Again, got it for nothing. I always use a condition description when I'm selling something used or for parts. It's only available. It's not available for new items. I always put the condition and any information about the item. This can protect you on an eBay return if you didn't. If the person says you didn't state something, and it is stated. I price it fairly. I try and price it to what it is either selling on eBay or half of what it is selling for new. Um, and I also do shipping. All depends on what the solds are on eBay. If people are doing free shipping, then I do free shipping. If people are paying for shipping, then I do paid shipping. I prefer charging for shipping. That's just me. I know if you do free shipping, it bumps you up higher in searches. I just prefer doing paid, especially for consignment items, because if I do free shipping, it messes up the whole matrix of figuring out the consignment, your 50%, the fees, and everything else, all this. But so I do. I try and be fair with shipping. I don't see a problem in making a buck or two on shipping. I'm spending my time and energy packing it properly. I will go over economy. Here, I'll tell you right now. I choose economy shipping for one reason only. That allows me to choose any option eBay offers. Post office, FedEx, post office priority, post office flat rate box, blah, 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 all this other stuff post office offers. FedEx Smart Post, FedEx regular home. Smart Post is a collaboration between the post office and FedEx, where the post office delivers it half the journey or whatever, and FedEx picks it up. I'm doing PayPal for right now. They will be changing over. Don't be flipping out. They will be changing over to managed payments, which I think will be a good thing. It's basically going to be like an Apple Pay type thing where a lot more payment options will be available for buyers with managed payments, which I think will be a good thing. Try and use item specifics. Actually, don't try. You must use item specifics. Usually, they're out there if if you're using an existing listing. Most of the time, people are using them already. When you're creating one, try and use one of the options from the pull-down menu. I created. You can also create your own item specifics. I created some on my own with the size long, and it's not handmade, obviously. So there's your item specifics. Please use those. It's very important for Google search and eBay search. Every day, eBay uploads their listings over to Google Shopping, so it's important. And also, oh, I forgot, in your title, do not use any special characters. Now you're going to say, well, Paul, I saw like several items that had special characters and they sold. Yeah, I know. I don't understand it, but it's not best practices. So I try not to use any special characters in my title because sometimes when they are moving stuff over to Google, Google's reading the title, going, oops, special character, and bumps it out. But you will see things with special characters. I don't know, whatever. My title or my description is basically a copy and paste of the condition description. Shipping, I use global shipping. That is a really cool option with eBay. where all you have to do to ship it internationally is ship it to a location in Kentucky. Once they have it, once eBay has it, you will get a message. There's an email. I can't remember what it is. That they have it. Once they have it, you are out of the picture. It can get lost, stolen, or broken. eBay picks up everything, and you don't owe anything. I have heard people that have problems with global shipping. I have never had a problem with global shipping at all. I enjoy it. People tell me you'll get more sales if you don't use global shipping because sometimes people are charged more taxes. I have no idea. They may be right. I've heard the pros and cons of that. I like it because it's easy for international shipping. All I have to do is ship it to Kentucky. I've done international shipping on my own years ago and it was a pain in the neck. I know they made it easier now, but already went over why I do economy shipping and I have a 30-day return period. That is the minimum of return. All right, story on this one. It's just a recipe book, dude. What's our story about it? Sold it. My wife had all these recipe books. We were going to throw them out. And I thought, let me just list them on eBay. I spent about 2 hours listing, probably about 40 of them on eBay. I've sold quite a few of them. Sold this one. The minute they got it, I got a message. Person said, this is not from 1975. It was revised in 1994. And they're going on and on and on and on. How they're going to return it. And, oh, they want their money back. And, oh. I immediately responded back because I respond immediately with messages. They're right on my phone. I don't make people wait. I want to get communication going right away. So she starts a return. She creates a label. Now I don't know how this works, to be honest with you, in the return because she says it was not as described. Which okay, whatever for $12.99, not as described. I was just going to refund her or him and just be done with it and not even worry about it. But they created a shipping label. Now I don't know how this works. I know when it's not as described, you pay for the shipping coming back because it's a wrong item. I didn't describe it properly. That's fine. But I don't know if you created the minute the shipping label was created or you pay for it once the shipping label is scanned at the post office. Well, they did that, and I was a little annoyed that they did that because I messaged them right away and said, don't even worry about it. Let me just refund you when I get home. I'll just give you a full $12.99 refund. It is no sweat. I used to get so upset with returns back in the day. I used to ruin my whole day over a $12 item. Just refund them and move on. Whether they're scamming you or not, it's just not worth it to even get upset about that. So I did lose the sale. It was only $12.99. I paid nothing for it. Like I said, most of my items I paid nothing for, or very little. So it was no really loss on my part. And you know what? They actually really left me really glowing feedback after I refunded them. How my communication was wonderful, and I really helped them out. And they were sorry it didn't work out. So I got 5-star feedback from them. So I was thrilled, which was amazing. What also amazes me is when you sell something for $3 or $5 or $10, I get a feedback like that once I get it. I sell something for $1,000 or $500 or $100, and I get no feedback. I don't understand it. But I don't have my keyboard with me today, so I'm trying to do it. All right, a low dollar sale, but another free item. I used to do lawnmower repair in my garage for probably about 8 years. Looked at the numbers and said, I'm not making any money doing this. So I stopped doing it back, gosh, probably about 3-4 years ago. I got tons of parts and just tons of miscellaneous stuff. These were all sitting in a big bag. So I figured, let me just sell them on eBay. After shipping and everything, I don't make much on these. They go out at about 3 ounces. I could put stamps on the envelope. I think it's 1 ounce per stamp, which would be, I don't know how much a stamp is, to be honest with you, 50 cents. Be $1.50. I'm paying about $2.35, $2.45, $2.65 to ship these out. I'm making about $4.50 profit on these. I'm totally fine with that. I know people would say, "Oh, that's stupid," but all I'm doing is I'm taking these 2 bolts out of a bag that I already have labeled with the item number on it. So I go to the bag, pull them out, put them into a little padded envelope, seal it, weigh it, which I already know the weight is 3 ounces, slap a label on it, and it's gone. So I'm happy with $4. It's a quick sale. It's done. Why not? I mean, they don't sell quick. They're out there for a while. but it's an easy sale, an easy ship. And I always, oh yeah, I always, I'm going to tell you something too. When I'm doing multiples of items, I always tell people in the description, I'm selling multiples. Here, let's go down here. It's a little bit bigger. I'm selling multiples. So the ones you get may not be the ones in the photo, which they are not. And when I'm doing photos, I always try and give as much information as I can in a photo. Now, one photo is not good. You really should have more than one photo. But how many photos am I going to take of a lawnmower handle, bolts, and nuts, and whatever? But the one photo is pretty descriptive. There is the size of the bolt, so people know. Could be a little sharper, but it's fine. I need to get a better measuring stick to it. That thing's a little bit beat up. It's probably about 40 years old. But I do love what I do. It gives me a lot of freedom, flexibility to be at home or to go to coffee shops and stuff. I did IT work for almost 30 years and made lots of money, but the freedom was just not there. My kids were little, and it used to drive me crazy. But I really do love what I'm doing. Again, fan blades, like I said, the thrift store, getting gas. Oh, look over there. There's fan blades over there in the free cart, in the free shopping cart. I run over and grab them. These cost me nothing. I make about between $12 and $15 on each sale. Kind of strange. They tend to sell in waves. I won't sell any for months, then I'll sell 8 sets of them in 1 week or 2 weeks. So again, these are free. I paid nothing for these. One key thing to do when you're selling anything like this that has holes or stuff you need to measure is I saw this years ago on a set of fan blades somebody was selling. They made a little template of the holes. There is, let me get this right. That's B. Now, the whole thing with measuring these is you got to get I use my phone. So you got to get your camera lens right so you're right above where the measurement is. You don't want to be over because like if I was over to the right with the camera, it would say 3. And if I was over to the left, it might say 2.5 or whatever. So you got to be right on top of that because I made that mistake once. I have had none of these ever returned to me. I had one that the person said it was the wrong bolt, it was the wrong length for the holes, but that was their fault. They didn't look at the pictures. So there's B and then there's A. So people know exactly what they're getting. And I've shipped these all over the country. I've shipped these all over the world. The ones that go for good money are the wicker ones. They look like this, but they have a wicker in the center. They're older ones are from the 80s. They can fetch between $30 and $45. That is before fees and with shipping added. So you can make pretty good money on these, but again, it's a hit or miss thing. And again, I got them for nothing. I always state that they will need sanding and painting. The one key thing I learned a couple months ago is use the blue. If you're going to put these all together and store them, use that blue Scotch 3M tape, the non-stick tape. Don't use the masking tape to wrap these, to hold these together, because the masking tape, the brown masking tape or tan masking tape, will pull the veneer off the blades. I had that happen twice, and I just sent them out, and I figured if there's a problem, I'll just refund them, but it was not a problem. All right, let's speed it up here a little bit. I'm trying to make these faster for you guys. Again, the DVD story, I got a bunch of DVDs from an old consignment person. They moved. They said, don't even worry about all this stuff. So they told me to keep the stuff, which is great. That happens a lot of times I'm doing consignment. So I said, what am I going to do? I looked on eBay. They were going for not much. I looked on a app. Somebody told me Declutter is an app where they will buy the DVDs for 20 cents a piece. I thought, great. So I'm scanning them into Declutter, and I thought, let me look at eBay again. I looked on eBay, and Declutter was the seller of most of the DVDs out there. And I thought, that's a great business model. 20 cents, you make a buck or two, 3. Okay, you get them coming in for 20 cents. So, well, let me just sell these myself. So that's what I did. I'm not making a ton of money on these, but I truly believe this is why I had a great Christmas sales. And most of my sales at Christmas were not Christmas items, because I had low end sales coming in all the time. I sold a ton of DVDs through Christmas, and I sell probably maybe about 3 or 4 or 5 of these a week. Prices range anywhere from here all the way up to about $8 with free shipping. You can ship these out media mail. You cannot ship games out media mail, but I've learned that. So I don't make a whole lot of money on these. At times I only make a buck or two, but again, I got the padded envelopes at a very reasonable price. I just slip in an envelope, seal it up. I think this again goes out of 3 ounces. It's a quick ship, a quick list, and I listed these all on my phone, which listing on your phone is a lot faster. I have an Android, so I don't have all the options that I have on my computer, but they were good enough and they were fast. You just scan a barcode, puts the stock picture out there, and it's fine. The app is really built for Apple products, iOS. You can do everything from an iPhone that you can on your computer. On the Android, you cannot. Another lawnmower. This is the handle. The rope that goes that you pull is the handle, the eye hook on the handle where the rope is. Not a lot of money. Don't make a ton of money on these. Again, I'm selling multiples. Make another 450 on these all day long. I sell a few of these a week. Got them for nothing. Dishwasher racks. There is money in dishwasher racks. Sometimes there used to be a lot of money in dishwasher racks. I don't know what's going on. I think the market is tanking. The only problem with dishwasher racks is they take up a lot of inventory space in your house or your garage storage unit. I normally say, boy, the Bosch ones. You want to go after the Bosch ones? They are the big bucks. Sometimes you'll run across a Bosch dishwasher that is just not a great model, didn't do well, maybe had a recall. And I've been just selling these at what others have been selling them for. This one went free shipping. I did not make a whole lot of money on this. I think I made $30. I mean, which is fine with me. I was thrilled with it. Funny story is I had this listed months ago, and I had this listed as a lower rack, but I had the picture of the upper rack. Somebody bought it, didn't even look at the pictures, tons of pictures, and bought it. And I said, wait, but the picture is an upper rack. Oh, that's okay. I need the lower rack. Turns out they didn't need it, and they had to pay for shipping because I'm very clear with my parts. I'll show you. Hopefully, it's in here. Yep. Please make sure this item will fit your appliance. We are not responsible for item not fitting. Please. How many times I got to say it? I'll get the spray arms removed, but I don't think I removed on this one. Funny thing is, I ended up packing this, not even realizing it, and then I looked at the listing from a couple months ago, and I went, oh. So I contacted the seller, and she went, don't worry about it. I need the lower rack. So I left this one packed, which is really cool because I don't usually pack my stuff in advance. And I packed the lower one. I'm talking about the sale from a couple months ago, and I sent that to her, and it was wrong. And she sent it back, and she had to pay a lot of money in shipping. That's fine, whatever. And I sold this Saturday and went, oh, nice, it's already packed. So I ran up in the attic, grabbed it, and weighed it, measured it, slapped a label on it. I am very clear with, and I also put the model. I put a tag. I put the tag. I put the photo of the model tag in the last photo. I try and do this most of the time. Sometimes I forget. So people have a question, and I do measurements, height, width, and length of the rack so people know. And people still ask me, what are the measurements? Will this fit that? Will it fit that? This. Sometimes there's a lot of research you got to do. I get all this information from the web. I go out to parts warehouses and pull all the parts numbers in. I have done it several ways. I use commas. Some people don't. Sometimes I don't. The more information you put in here, the better. This is all the compatible brands. It fits all different brands, believe it or not, even though it's a Bosch. But like I said, sometimes the Bosch stuff sells for really good money, and sometimes it does not. Another part, small engine part, gas tank. I sell a few gas tanks a week. This model, this is the last one I have. I've had a real good run on gas tanks a couple of years ago, and I think the China parts are coming in new and they're cheaper than buying used. So I think that market is pretty much tanking. But again, got it for free. I had 2 available. Again, I'm selling multiples. I always put that in there. Probably made $11 on this. It went out. I think it went out right at first class. On eBay, if you ship through eBay, which you really must, I don't know why people don't ship through eBay. First class goes up to 16 ounces. If you take that same item to the post office, first class only goes up to 13 ounces. Remember that. It's very important. You can save a lot of money. And there's all sorts of first class gyrations you can do too. You need to know that. I will do a video on that. It's actually quite interesting. So it went out right at 16 ounces, maybe just a smidgen over, like point zero something 1 ounce or 2 ounce point whatever. So that was good. So I saved a lot of money on shipping. Um, I don't like doing first class anymore because I'll be honest with you, the post office has lost a few of my items, and you don't get insurance. You can select insurance for first class, but a lot of times I don't, just to save money. I prefer shipping priority. I ship with the economy thing. I ship when I choose economy. 95% of my stuff goes out either priority or FedEx home. So my feedback shows that because I get things out quickly. I get them out the same day. Sometimes they're at the post office within a half an hour. I live close to the post office. Another consignment item, I got a ton of parts, ton of manuals from a Japanese shop that was shutting down, repair shop that was shutting down. I think his father passed on or got sick, and the son was closing out everything. He wanted me to buy a big pallet of stuff, and I was like, ooh. We agreed that I would do consignment on it. It's 50-50 split on everything, no matter what it sells for, which is great. The only problem is the parts are not selling real well, and I don't know what to do with the parts. I need to reevaluate all the parts. I've got tons of parts from 70s, 80s, and early 90s Japanese cars. But the manuals are doing really well. A Subaru Justy, you don't see the Justies around anymore. Probably a good thing. Probably ugly looking car, but it's okay. Just teasing. I like Subarus. They're pretty cool cars. Die-hard Subaru owners out there, they're great cars, seriously. They don't break down too often. So I made what I make on this, $14, $14.50 on this. So that's not bad. You quick ship. It went out. Yeah, right. It goes out medium mail because it's a manual. Cost me maybe $3.50, so I made some money on shipping. What I do with these is I put them in food wrap. I got a big roll of food wrap from Costco. Run down to the kitchen, wrap it in food wrap. The clear stuff like the Saran wrap stuff, and I just put it in a poly envelope, and it's gone. I do my best to take as many pictures as I can, always stating, and all my pictures are done on my phone, always stating that it's well worn, has grease on the edges, and etc. So people know. I pull all this stuff. I Google the number, the manual number. You'd be surprised what's out there. There are sites out there that just sell manuals, and you can pull a lot of information off of those sites. Just be careful what you're pulling off. Don't copy everything, put it in your listing. This could be called plagiarism if you're doing it that way. I try not to do that, and if I have to do that, I always start off with please refer to, I don't put, because eBay doesn't like you putting a website in the listing or in the description. I just say please refer to site whatever it's called, Manuals R Us or whatever, for more information. This is where I pull this information so they get credit for it. But always put a lot of item specifications in there, especially when you're doing manuals. That is what sells the manuals, helps you with the searches. Like I said, pretty beat up, but not bad. Made some money on that. Old computer games. Look at that. Commodore 64. What the people are going, what the heck's a Commodore 64? Well, I cut my teeth on these things. Atomic Sinclairs, VIC 20s, Commodore 64s. Never really messed with Ataris. Never messed with Apples. But yep, goes back to the 80s, this game. I have no idea if it works. It was working last use. This was an old consignment client I had a couple years ago. He decided to start selling his own stuff out of his storage units, which is fine. We ended on peaceful terms. He said, don't worry about it. Just keep everything you've got, which was great. I'm not making a lot of money on these. I probably made about $8 on this, $8.50, which is totally fine. Goes right into a poly envelope. Goes out at about 2 ounces. So didn't cost me much on shipping. But old computer games sell, old Atari games sell, old PlayStation 2s, 3s, all that stuff sells. Just remember, when you're shipping out a game, it does not go out. Oh, did I say media mail? It does not go out media mail. It goes out first class because it's a game. Kind of weird. You could probably get away with doing it media mail, but with my luck, they would open it up and I'd get caught. And they would charge the buyer the difference in the shipping, and I don't want that. Another lawnmower part. This is not a lawnmower part. This is a trimmer part where you disconnect one thing and put an edger on there. Disconnect, put the trimmer back on there, a string trimmer. Again, I'm selling multiples of these. The one I actually shipped out is red, but I have it stated. Actually, I'm going to ship all this stuff out today. This is a pretty good weekend for selling stuff. Like I said here, oh, God, I need more coffee today. I have multiple items, so the one may not look as like the one, but it will function the same, which it did. Did not make a lot of money on this. Like I said, I probably made about $7 on this, but it's fine. Right into a poly envelope. Again, another one of these, all in the same week. I sold multiples of these. I didn't mean to put that up in there. Up in there. Let me tell you a story about this. What did I say earlier in the video? Tell all your friends what you're doing. What did I say? Tell all your friends what you're doing. I sell on eBay. I sell used stuff on eBay. I sell new stuff on Amazon. I sell on Etsy. I sell on Facebook. I sell whatever. That's what I do as a side thing. That's what I do. That's my full-time thing. If you ever have any things that you want to sell, let me know, either in consignment or I'll just take them. I'll clean out the room for you. I'll clean out your garage for you. Got a call from a very long-time friend of mine. I've known this guy forever. Met him in networking business meetings, probably back 2005. Calls me up last Monday, says, neighbor of mine, he lives about 40 minutes away. Neighbor of mine's got a barn he's going to tear down in a couple of weeks, and there's tons of stuff in there. Do you want to come up and look at it? You think my answer was yes, of course. Went up the next day early because it was god awful hot the next 2 days. Went up there early, grabbed a bunch of stuff, grabbed an old clock radio, grabbed some skeet shooting things, which I sold one of them, uh, woodworking vices, just a bunch of stuff, old Craftsman spray guns, tons of PVC joints, PVC pipe joints, elbows, tees, threaded tees, slip tees, tons of stuff. I tons and tons of stuff. I could have taken more, but I was really being selective my second day when I went there. When we went up in the loft, I saw these things as I climbed up on into the loft. Somehow I made it up there. I don't know how I did it, but I got up in the loft. We didn't fall through, and I saw these two boards sitting there in the dust. And I grabbed them quick, and I said, I'll take these. And there was an old stereo up there that I took. It probably doesn't even work. It was so dusty. It was an old Realistic. I may just clean up and sell it for parts. And I grabbed these, and I thought, I'll take these. He goes, what the heck are those things? These are old boards. This is how they used to program computers back in the day. Back in the 50s, 40s, whatever, back in the day. And I thought, man, great. Now, I think I could have gotten more for these. Not quite sure. I priced them fairly. I paid nothing, zero, goose egg for these. Just had to go there, pick up everything. Everything was free. I didn't pay anything for anything in the barn. Again, tell everybody what you're doing. So I listed these. It took me a little while to research it. I Google searched IBM plug boards because I knew what they were because I'm an old computer guy. I never used these things. This was way before my time. Patch panels, patch boards, Google images. I Googled and Googled, and I finally found two or three pictures looking exactly like this. Come to find out, I didn't want to put, the name of the accounting machine, but it looks like it came from an accounting machine. I think it was a 403 accounting machine is what they were all sort of pointing to, but I was a little leery to put the model number in there because I wasn't sure, so I figured I would just leave it pretty generic. Listed them Saturday at around 2 p.m. and sold them Sunday morning at around 7. I'm selling two of them. I did not post. I did not show the two of them in the pictures. Just one because they both look exactly the same. They were very dusty. They had hay in them. I did my best to clean them out. Sold them to somebody in Belgium. Belgium. Oh, you got to ship to Belgium. No, I'm using global shipping program. eBay's GSP, also known as. All I had to do was ship to Kentucky. I packed them the best I could. I was going to ship them post office. Post office wanted $23 to ship them. FedEx wanted $10.95 to ship them to Kentucky. That's a huge difference. I will take that any day. I have no problem with FedEx. I've had great luck with FedEx. Even when they've lost and broken things, they've always refunded me quickly. So tell everybody what you're doing. I made $97 on this sale in my pocket from stuff that was sitting in a barn. Now, granted, I had to drive there and drive back. I actually made two trips because I didn't feel like filling my van all the way up the first day. I should have just stayed there and filled it up first day. I just was being lazy. I was getting hot, but it's okay. It's all good. I went up the next day and got all those PVC pipe joints. Geez, there was a ton of them, about 1,000 or so of them. I'm going to sell them in lots. But so tell everybody what you're doing. There is money out there in free stuff. People have stuff they want to get rid of, especially now with everybody being inside and cleaning their houses up. So that was $97 one sale. Another item that was not, these knobs weren't given to me, but the grill was given to me. I sold the panel that's below this grill, high, medium, and low. That panel went for, I made $35 on the panel itself. I sold these knobs. I didn't make much money on this, probably made about $8 on this. It's a Weber grill. So when you put your tank on underneath, there's a weight thing that shows you when the tank gets lighter in gas, you can see it half full, quarter. I sold that. I made $15 or $20 on that in my pocket. I did sell the lid, but I labeled it wrong, and I showed you that listing a couple weeks ago. I had it under as a silver grill, a silver model grill. It was a gold series grill. I had to refund the guy, then I had to pay for shipping back to me, which is probably about $35. So I really bit the bullet on that one, but no, not 35, but like $25. But live and learn, that was totally my fault. I was actually going back and forth with the guy, getting quite mad. And he goes, "Look at the picture again." And I felt like a real heel. And I went, "Oh, God." So this was that grill. Long story, or a story I told before of a neighbor up the street was moving, and I said, "We have a grill and a weed whacker." And as I was picking them up, she pulled up and said, "I went to the thrift store. They were closed. Do you want these scanners?" I'm like, "Scanners? Document scanners don't sell." She gave them to me, and I sold the Fuji one, and I made $323 on that one sale. So watch again. Tell people what you're doing. Last item. This is from the barn. Um, I actually I didn't make a whole lot of money on this. I believe in being honest and open here. Um, I should have had the shipping higher, but this is what the shipping was. This is what people were charging for shipping these things. I hate when I make these mistakes, but whatever. So I sold it. I listed it yesterday, sold it within hours. It has, I took it all apart. It didn't take me long. The nuts came right off. They weren't rusted or anything. Put everything in a box. And it cost me $23 to ship it out to Arizona. FedEx was the cheapest. Post office wanted 47 or 43. So I did not make a lot of money on this again, but it was a free item from the barn. I probably wouldn't have made a lot of money on it anyway, even if it was sold closer, even if I paid $14 for shipping or $12 for shipping. It wasn't going to be a huge money making item. I made $650 on this item, but then again, I made $95 on those two boards from the barn. So, it all comes out in the end. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you make a mistake like I did here. But hey, it's all good. I still love what I do. And I think that is it for the items I sold last week. Hey, I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And please smash the like button if you like what you're seeing here. And please subscribe to my channel. All right, guys. Again, you have a great day. And look underneath. Look at the description. I'm still offering my eBay 2-hour video course for $1 during these trying times. People need to figure out to make more money at home. Please check that out. That'll be down there in the description. All right, guys, you have a great day and have a good week. Have fun selling online.